Today we will talk about integrating the supply chain. This chapter discusses the evolution of supply chain structures categorized into arm's length and obligational relationships. Arm's length relationships rely on detailed contracts to avoid excessive familiarity and maintain independence. Obligational relationships, while still contractual, are built on mutual trust and allow for flexibility and adaptation. Common governance mechanisms emerge in obligational relationships, resembling integrated organizations. The rise of collaborative supply chains impacts competitive strategy, requiring firms to manage buyer-supplier relationships effectively. However, one-sided influences in relationships, such as customer firms impacting supplier practices, can lead to consequences. The chapter aims to explore the integration of supply chain processes, examine different relationship types, and understand their impact on firms' competitive positions. The primary question we must address is how to achieve integration internally, externally, and electronically within the supply chain. For example, Procter & Gamble, P&G, serves as a notable example, prioritizing customer-centric supply chain design. P&G follows four key principles. 1. Short-cycle production. P&G implements daily production cycles to align manufacturing with demand, ensuring responsiveness to customer needs. 2. Real-time communication with suppliers. Long-term relationships and integrated systems enable seamless communication, enhancing coordination and visibility across the supply chain. 3. Drawing demand data from the point closest to the customer. P&G gathers accurate demand insights from retail cash registers, informing effective planning and inventory management. 4. Collaboration among supply chain partners. P&G fosters collaboration between commercial and supply chain teams, ensuring alignment and value delivery to end customers through shared metrics and continuous improvement. These principles underscore the significance of both internal and external integration in the supply chain, encompassing communication channels, shared systems, and collaborative relationships. Research across fabricated metal products and machinery sectors corroborates the benefits of enhanced integration, identifying variables like planning system access, shared production plans, and joint ED usage as drivers of performance improvement. Broader integration strategies yield substantial performance enhancements across the supply chain. A survey involving over 300 organizations in the US examined the integration between marketing and logistics functions within a company. The survey found that increased collaboration between these two departments led to improved performance and interdepartmental effectiveness. The performance improvements included reduced cycle time, better in-stock performance, increased product availability, and improved order-to-delivery lead times. Firms with higher levels of internal integration demonstrated better logistics performance compared to less integrated firms. While there was no difference between highly integrated and less integrated firms in basic services like consistent delivery and advanced notification of delays and shortages, there was a significant difference in higher value service elements. High integration firms performed better in terms of meeting customer needs, accommodating special requests, and introducing new products, resulting in an enhanced customer perception of the organizations. Similar conclusions were reached by other studies, indicating that firms developing integrated products and services achieve similar benefits. Additionally, A study of Spanish food manufacturers showed that firms with high levels of internal integration between logistics, production, and marketing also achieved the highest levels of external integration. The research suggests that firms should continue to improve internal integration. Functional barriers between purchasing, manufacturing, and distribution can lead to challenges such as poor supplier selection, low product availability, and operational complexities. Internal integration serves as a starting point for broader integration across the supply chain. It is important to address internal integration before attempting external integration, as professionals sometimes find it easier to form alliances with competitors than with divisions within their own companies. This slide discusses the concept of JIT2, Just-in-Time 2, and its implementation by the Bose Corporation. Bose recognized the need to make traditional buyer-supplier relationships more effective, but faced budget constraints that prevented them from hiring additional staff. This challenge drove them to develop the JIT2 concept. JIT2 is an extension of the just-in-time concept, aiming to bring customer and supplier processes closer together. In JIT2, the buyer and salesman roles are eliminated from the customer-supplier relationship, and a supplier employee is stationed full-time in the customer's purchasing office. This supplier in plant has the authority to use the customer's scheduling system to place orders and handle material planning for the supplied materials. The supplier in plant is also involved in the production planning process, streamlining the supply chain by consolidating multiple roles into one individual. The implementation of JIT2 has brought significant benefits to Bose. These benefits include a 50% improvement in on-time deliveries, reduced damage and shortages, a 6% reduction in material costs, a 26% improvement in equipment utilization, and significant reductions in inventory holdings. The Bose supplier in plant concept serves as an example of how collaboration and integration can positively impact the supply chain. While the supplier in plant concept can be replaced to a large extent by electronic integration techniques available today, the case study demonstrates the advantages of close collaboration and streamlined processes. The term transactional refers to the electronic execution of specific business transactions, particularly within the realm of business-to-business, B2B, e-commerce. In this context, trading partners aim to automate various types of business transactions, such as purchase orders, invoices, order and advanced shipment notices, load tendering and acknowledgements, and freight invoices and payments. These transactions involve the electronic transmission of a fixed format document. The document follows a predefined structure and contains specific data and information fields. The purpose of using a fixed format document is to ensure consistency and standardization across different trading partners. The document serves as a template for capturing and transmitting the necessary information related to the transaction. For example, a purchase order transaction may involve the electronic transmission of a standardized purchase order document that includes information such as the buyer's details, the items to be purchased, quantities, prices, delivery details, and payment terms. By automating these transactions and utilizing fixed format documents, trading partners can streamline the process, reduce manual intervention, minimize errors, and enhance efficiency. The predefined data and information fields within the document provide a structured framework for capturing and exchanging the required information accurately. The electronic sharing discusses the concept of trading partners having access to a system where they can share information with each other. In this arrangement, one partner transmits shared information to another partner. The information is provided on a for-your-information basis, meaning the recipient uses the data as it is without providing any feedback or making changes to it. The shared information can include various details such as product descriptions and pricing, promotional calendars, inventory levels, and shipment tracking and tracing. This arrangement allows each partner to independently plan their activities based on the information they receive. It reduces uncertainty by making trading partners aware of each other's activities. However, this type of information sharing only supports independent planning, and there is no opportunity for trading partners to comment on or modify the plan. Also, I need to introduce the concept of information sharing through continuous replenishment (CR) logistics. Continuous replenishment logistics is an innovative approach that utilizes IT developments to quickly supply demand from the manufacturer. It involves sharing electronic point-of-sale (EPOS) data from retailers to suppliers. The goal is for the supplier to rapidly replace the items that have been sold, ensuring that the retailer maintains stock availability on the shelves. Okay, now the question we need to answer in this section is, what types of supplier relationships can be adopted, and how can each type of relationship be tailored to different types of products? There are various types of relationships that can exist within the supply chain, such as the concept of a continuum, ranging from arm's length relationships conducted through the marketplace to vertical integration relationships cemented through ownership. Vertical integration can occur upstream, downstream, or in both directions, and can extend across one or multiple tiers of the supply chain. As you see, this figure illustrates the continuum of relationship options in the supply chain, highlighting different styles and motivating factors that drive their development. Each relationship style varies in terms of its duration, breadth, strength, and closeness, which can differ from case to case and evolve over time. A focal firm may have different types of relationships with its customers and suppliers, adopting a range of styles depending on the specific supply chain situation. For example, grocery retailers may have an arm's length style for their own brand products, focusing on obtaining the lowest price through online auctions. In contrast, they may form strategic alliances for developing petrol forecourts, as seen in the alliance between Tesco Express and Esso fuel stations. Recognizing that suppliers have different needs, firms often differentiate their approach and practices towards them. This allows the firm to effectively allocate purchasing and supply chain management resources. While it is sometimes believed that Japanese companies consider all Tier 1 suppliers as partners, the reality is that only a select few enjoy partnership status, typically larger organizations. Western auto manufacturers have been inspired by the Japanese model and have developed their own versions, with a structure resembling the Keiretsu system. Okay. Now the next question is, what are partnerships, and what are advantages and disadvantages? This question discusses the concept of partnerships within the supply chain and highlights the added value they can bring. Cooperative relationships or partnerships are characterized by the sharing of information, trust, coordination, mutual benefits, recognition of interdependence, shared goals, and compatibility of corporate philosophies. The key characteristic among these is the sharing of information, including demand and supply information. The economic justification for partnerships is explored, noting that entering into a partnership implies a transition away from open market rules. Alternative structures must demonstrate benefits and deliver competitive advantage. Japanese practice, with its emphasis on commitment and trust, differs significantly from open market relationships and offers non-economic qualities that secure economic and strategic advantages. Advantages of partnerships include savings in negotiations and separate contracts, reduced monitoring efforts, increased productivity, shorter lead times and product cycles, and conditions conducive to long-term investment. However, the introduction of commitment and trust also presents potential disadvantages. These include difficulties in accurately pricing qualitative matters, the need for substantial information about potential partners, the risk of divulging sensitive information to competitors, and the potential for opportunism by suppliers. In the long term, partnerships involving outsourcing of R&D bring benefits such as decreased buyer investment and early supplier involvement in new product development. However, they also introduce factors like increased buyer risk due to dependence on fewer suppliers and the potential for opportunism due to limited competition among suppliers. There are different types of supplier networks. Let's explain their characteristics and roles in supply chain organization. 1. Supplier associations. These are formal networks consisting of important suppliers of a company who come together for coordination and development purposes. Supplier associations provide training, resources, and improved communication channels to enhance operational performance within the supply chain. 2. Japanese keiretsu. Keiretsu refers to business consortia in Japan characterized by cooperation, coordination, joint ownership, and control. They have a hierarchical structure led by major assemblers and are prevalent in the automotive and electronics sectors. Keiretsu enable effective management and coordination of supplier networks. 3. Italian districts. Industrial districts in Italy have popularized another approach to supply partnerships. These districts comprise numerous small, family-owned firms concentrated in a specific geographic area. They benefit from a well-developed set of suppliers, support industries, and infrastructure, fostering collaboration and efficiency. 4. Chinese industrial areas. With the extensive transfer of manufacturing to low-cost countries like China, industrial areas have emerged. These areas are established through government intervention at various levels and aim to boost regional development. Examples include Shenzhen, Pudong, and Tianjin. These different types of supplier networks showcase diverse strategies for organizing and optimizing supply chains in various regions and industries. Each approach offers unique advantages and contributes to the efficient functioning of the supply chain ecosystem. It is important to realize the importance of integrating upstream suppliers into the supply chain to increase responsiveness. Excessive inventories of raw materials, packaging materials, and intermediate products held upstream can lead to longer product lead times and higher costs. To address this, buying firms often engage in supplier development to improve supplier performance and capabilities. However, it is important to avoid short-term gains at the expense of long-term partnerships and overall supply chain competitiveness. Leading-edge companies are implementing two trends to enhance upstream supply chain management. The first trend is integrated processes. which involve aligning critical processes such as new product development, material replenishment, and payment. Joint strategy development with key suppliers helps establish common goals and benefits all parties. Supplier development teams can facilitate process alignment by establishing information highways and common product identification codes. The second trend is synchronous production, which links upstream production schedules with downstream demand. This approach aims to reduce inventories while improving responsiveness. Heijunker, or leveled scheduling, distributes volume and mix evenly over a given time period to match end customer demand. Transparency of information between suppliers and customers is crucial for synchronization to work. Vendor-managed inventory, VMI, is another approach where suppliers take responsibility for planning and controlling inventory at the customer, reducing uncertainty and the need for safety stock. Partnerships in supply chain relationships can evolve from basic transactional interactions to long-term collaborative relationships known as strategic partnerships. The ultimate goal is collaboration, where firms work closely together, share technology, and integrate their planning and control systems. This transition involves increasing obligations and coordination, leading to a mutually dependent relationship. However, it's important to note that strategic partnerships require significant resources and careful consideration of the appropriate timing for each supplier relationship. Open market negotiations may still be suitable in certain cases. To facilitate this transition, a well-designed and managed supply chain process is essential, with active involvement from supplier development and purchasing teams. Purchasing executives often struggle to foster successful strategic partnerships due to various barriers. These barriers include 1. Inappropriate use of power. Some purchasing executives exert excessive control over their supply chain partners, which can lead to conflicts and hinder the overall supply network. 2. Self-interest. Buyers often prioritize their own company's interests, driven by incentives that promote individual gains rather than collaborative success. 3. Focus on negative implications. Buyers tend to emphasize the risks and drawbacks of entering into partnerships, rather than recognizing the benefits of increased dependence on a smaller number of suppliers. 4. Opportunism. Partnerships face challenges when there is a misalignment between long-term strategic requirements and short-term tactical maneuvers. Opportunistic behavior arises when partners seek personal gains at the expense of the partnership, particularly when they perceive limited alternatives or specialized investments have been made. 5. Price-centric mindset. Buyers commonly prioritize price as the primary criterion for supplier selection, underestimating the value of factors like specialized knowledge, technological capabilities, unique production styles, and innovation. This focus on price can deter them from engaging in areas where these factors are crucial, such as design and development. These barriers reflect a legacy mindset where the lowest price is seen as the defining characteristic. Such behavior hinders the development of supply chain relationships beyond a transactional approach, where commercial power dominates and survival of the fittest is assumed. Overcoming these barriers requires a shift in mindset and behavior to prioritize trust, commitment, and mutual benefits in supply chain partnerships. Okay. The last question we have is, how can broader-based relationships be formed between trading partners in the supply chain? You need to understand that The traditional supplier-customer relationship involves limited contact between the buyer and salesperson, with a focus on controlling sensitive communications related to pricing. In contrast, the diamond model promotes active relationship management and supplier development processes, fostering multifunctional contacts. An example is BHS, a UK retailer, which reduced its supplier portfolio and enhanced relationships with fewer suppliers through electronic collaboration and strategic involvement. Coordination in supply relationships, particularly in logistics, is crucial for success, with failures necessitating adjustments and collaboration. However, tensions exist between mechanisms that bring partners together and those that drive them apart, often influenced by technical, organizational challenges and internal priorities. Despite the benefits of bonding processes, organizational boundaries and vested interests can impede relationship deepening, as evidenced in research within the automotive industry. The factors proposed by Lamming, 1993, for analyzing customer-supplier relationships include 1. Order winners. Key factors that differentiate suppliers and contribute to the customer's competitive advantage. 2. Sourcing decisions. How sourcing decisions are made, including methods like competitive tenders or sole sourcing. 3. Electronic collaboration. The nature of electronic collaboration between customers and suppliers. 4. Attitude to capacity planning. Perceptions and approaches to capacity planning, whether sole supplier responsibility or a shared strategic issue. 5. Call-off requirements. Customer requirements for order changes, JIT delivery, or synchronized deliveries. 6. Price negotiations. Dynamics of price negotiations, including price reductions and continuous improvement projects. 7. Managing product quality. Approaches to managing product quality, including process improvement and setting quality targets. 8. Managing research and development. Supplier involvement in research and development activities. 9. Level of pressure. The level of pressure exerted by customers on suppliers for improvement and cost reduction. In the European automotive industry, the most significant factor currently appears to be the level of pressure on suppliers for cost reduction due to overcapacity among assemblers. This pressure is significant as the supply chain accounts for a substantial portion of assembler costs.
Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to channel.